How did you feel writing it the third time?
Well, I added just the goals to it here.
Okay. How did you feel when you wrote those goals down? I mean, as far as the goals, but I mean the steps, right? The bullet points underneath each of the pillars.
Well, I felt pretty good about the first two, but with current customers, I guess you'll see in just a second. Let's see.
Okay.
Okay, so I have my plan for Tuesday for my current customers, but I don't really know, like you'll see on the other ones I have, so I will do this, and this is what my goal is for that week by doing that. But I guess under current customers, like instead of having a face-to-face meeting, it would just be to get the referral, but I don't know if that's really a tangible goal, if that makes sense.
All right, let's go back into it. So, because I was pulling it up and I was starting to skim through it. So, you feel pretty good about the business relationships and the realtors, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, let's talk about the business relationships first. Every Wednesday, I will call 3 new referral partners and follow up with a committed referral and follow up with committed referral partners. So, when you say you're going to call them every Wednesday, what's the measurable goal that you're going to get out of the action step?
And that is what I have right underneath the 1 new face-to-face weekly is what I want out of the calls.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense to me. So under the business, you have 1 new face-to-face weekly. Okay, so with regards to those meetings, your ultimate goal every month is to receive 4 to 5 total leads every month out of the face-to-face meetings and relationships you're establishing.
Yes.
So now you can take what your weekly goal is and translate into how and what you're going to say during those meetings. It isn't, obviously you're going to get to know them and meet them, but your purpose in having these calls and face-to-face meetings is to really align yourself to get the volume of leads that you're looking for.
Okay.
Do you think that, does that make it clear that now you understand that on Wednesdays you're dedicating your business day and one face-to-face meeting a week, you're dedicating that purely to just this one business or one pillar? Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Doesn't seem too insurmountable, does it?
No, not when we put it simply like this.
Perfect. All right, so the realtors. Every Monday I will call my top 30 list with a call to action. Where are you going to get your call to action from?
So every Monday, that's kind of what we're starting to work on, is just having something to bring to the table. What's my call to action this week? Is it to provide information and then ask if I can help with? So yeah, that's what we kind of do on our morning calls, and we're starting to trend that way.
Awesome. Awesome. So that piece of it's in place. So you can go back every Friday and look at and go, this past Monday, did I call my 30 realtors? If you didn't call your 30, then you have to go back and ask yourself what stopped you from doing that.
Okay.
As a means to being able to manage your weekly activity, your commitment is I will call 30 people every Monday, which means that you're going to be taking a large part, if not all of your day on Monday, calling all 30. Are you going to commit to doing that every Monday, or is that something that you can split up into 2 days? Because that's a lot of people to try and call in one day.
And I agree, it is a lot of people to call, but I think that the Mondays are the good day to do that and follow up with them. And sometimes, like when I say call, I guess some weeks I have been doing like a video, kind of giving an update, just putting my face out there, and that's kind of worked out well. I've gotten some responses to that, and then I've done text on Tuesday, which on Thursday, which I should put in here too. So Thursday.
Let me ask you this. So when you say call, do you say contact, communicate with, or do you physically mean that you're going to pick up the phone and have that conversation?
Well, why don't I put contact?
Okay. Every Monday you will contact 30 agents, and under that you will put either via video message, text message, broadcast email, or phone conversation. And I would take it even a step farther, and I would decide which agents you're going to call. Like if every week you call the top 5 and then you video message everybody, the next week you call the next 5, like number 6 through 10, you video message everybody else. I mean, so that you're physically making an attempt to physically call each of them over the course of a month. And I don't know what's going to be the best answer. Maybe Brian has a better idea on that than I do. But my opinion would be, if you're going to make the comment to yourself that I'm going to call all 30 people, if on Friday you go back and you only contacted 15 and called 3 and emailed 2, then your goal setting has already fallen off track.
I really like that setup structure, actually, because me and Brian talked about it as well. Just, you know, the producers who aren't doing crazy production are going to get annoyed by a call every week, but you still want to keep those in your, you know, vicinity. So, yeah, I really like that, and I will add that here. So, just, okay.
And then 4 weekly face-to-face meetings. So you're going to use this every Friday when we go back to analyzing your business every week. When we have our meetings on Tuesdays, we're going to go back to your Friday, and you're going to give yourself a report card of how you achieved your goals in these 3 pillars.
Okay.
And so when you say 4 weekly face-to-face meetings, have you ever had a week where have you ever had a couple weeks in a row where you've had 4 face-to-face meetings?
Well, I guess it depends on what I'm considering a meeting. So I have had
face-to-face.
Right. So, like, does that include, you know, going to open houses and being in front of a realtor? Does that include going into an office? So I guess I need to definitely break that down on what I am considering the meeting.
I would say when you say 4 face-to-face meetings, is that face-to-face meetings with current agents? Is that with new agents? Is that with groups of agents? Is that with, you know, are you doing a presentation? I mean, you've got to be, and the reason I'm saying this isn't to be critical of what you're writing, but when you go back and we start for 2017 and we start benchmarking our successes by at the end of Q1, we're going to go back and go, okay, here's what you projected as your goals, and every week you have failed to meet all of your goals, which means that A, you're not committed, or B, you've just put the goals that are too much for you to accomplish in the short period of time of only 5 days. I think it's going to be difficult to have 30 phone calls and every Tuesday call 25 have not met agents and still have 4 face-to-face weekly meetings unless you are literally focused every single day and you are managing your activity levels and you're getting the results that you need. I just think that that's a big, big hill. I think you can do it. I just want you to be clear that if you're going to make this as a goal, this is what I'm going to be holding you accountable to.
Gotcha. I think what is obtainable is committing to face-to-face, but maybe not necessarily new sitting down for coffee agents, but even just like if I go by an office and meet someone, and if I go to an open house and meet a few realtors or brokers open, like I can include those in my face-to-face realtors through the week.
So all you're really saying in your face-to-face meetings is that you're going to be pressing the flesh with 4 agents every week.
Correct, yeah.
In some way, shape, or form. And I would say face-to-face meetings, I would say one-on-ones. 4 one-on-one realtor meetings a week.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah. What's up, buddy?
Let's go, boss man. Hey, I'm over in Larry's office. Hey, I think on this, first of all, Doug, I got mad love for you. I think the structure you're putting together is just badass, and so I appreciate this. This is an awesome plan laid out. I just think, Madison, those 4 weekly face-to-face meetings, based on how we run the meetings and how you've seen me run the meetings, there's a drastic difference between a sit-down that is going over how we run business, how to peacock, how to throw the conversion tools out. That's a separate goal, in my opinion, and I think that should be 5 meetings a week that you sit down with the pure focus of let's talk about how I can help you close more business and how you can refer that business to me.
Right.
And I think that's a separate amount of people that you do Popeyes with and press the flash and all that kind of stuff. But as you can see, there is a drastic difference, and you feel a lot more successful when you meet with Cindy here and you knock that appointment out of the park, which we do every single time. You knock every appointment out of the park. But it's a different communication than just popping by or having that initial, hey, what's up, in a networking function. Both are valuable, but 5 of those meetings a week, that is that's a game changer. That's my 2 cents.
Makes total sense. I think anytime that you can break down what you're going to do in your face-to-face meetings, what you're going to say on your daily phone calls, and what your call to actions are, I think your weekly team meetings, that should be, Brian, if I was in your position, that would be my agenda every time I got on the phone with my sales team, which is if you're going to be making these calls, here's what I, as your branch manager and as your leader, is going to recommend that you make your call to action this week. This is what I'm going to recommend that you make your conversations about when you go meet your realtors face-to-face. I think the action steps are there because they're comfortable for Madison. They're what she believes are the path. But I think the content of what each of these action steps require is going to be based on what you 3 or 4, what you guys discuss on a daily or weekly basis.
Yeah, I can commit to that. And guys, that's one massive thing on my list to get to you every week is those talking points, because I think that's kind of one of my things that a unique ability that I have is just creating something that is attention grabbing. So we can absolutely do that.
Right. So, hey, Madison, let's just finish up your current customers because I think you said you were struggling with that.
Right.
So here's a suggestion that I have, and I want to be clear about why I kind of harp on the current customer relationship. I believe that our clients are our greatest advocate to expanding our business organically and free of charge. Because our clients don't need anything from us. They don't require us to call on them every single day. They don't need us to stroke their ego. In a lot of ways, they are very just genuinely willing to help us if we do a really good job for them. If we set the stage up correctly in the very beginning of our relationship, I believe that our current clients can be a huge pillar of our business. Based on the loans that you close, you should be getting about a 30 to 40% conversion ratio out of everybody that you have in your pipeline. Okay. So if I was to analyze the current customer process, it would be step 1 is at every application, I'm creating a bar of expectation, not only for what I'm going to do for my clients, but what my clients are going to do in return for me. And we can work on that presentation if you guys want to at a later date. That would be my number 1, making it an absolute commitment that I'm going to set the bar of expectation with my clients, that if I do my job through the process, you will commit to advocating me to the people you care about. That's an agreement that you're going to have before you start talking about mortgages. So if I'm going to establish a greater return on my investment with my clients, it's going to be step 1, setting the stage in the very beginning. Step 2 would be every Tuesday, I will be providing my clients with an update. And with the update, I'm seeking one thing and one thing only through those update calls, and that is to get my clients to say thank you. At the point that they say thank you, that's when I'm going to say my just ask. That's when I'm going to say, please, Mr. Client, don't keep me a secret. You remember that I told you that my business counts on you to kind of pay it forward. I'm counting on you to refer me to somebody you care about. That's your Tuesday update campaign. Which means now, if you're doing such a great job with your current customers, guess who's going to feel the benefit of that? Then it becomes the listing agent. Now you can kind of take that current client process and spin it into a listing agent campaign to capture every listing agent on every transaction, at least to have a phone conversation and possibly a face-to-face.
Right.
But I believe that your current customers that rave about you during the process become past clients who rave about you after. My 15+ million in 2013, 63% of it came from my past clients and current clients. I'm living proof that you don't have to be a raging rock star like Mr. Heckman to be able to generate business organically just by doing what you say you're going to do and then follow through on it with your clients throughout the process. And if you do that, your business is going to be explosive in this category. I mean, if you're getting 2 to 3 current client referrals a month, you did it for free. You did it doing the things that you do well every single day anyway, and all you're doing is implementing a conversation or two that makes the client appreciate and recognize that you count on them for referrals.
Okay.
I don't think it's unrealistic to expect that you can't get 1 to 2 leads a month from your current clients. I think it's absolutely essential that that becomes a standard part of your business, because that just augments into your listing agent conversations, and it augments into your current clients becoming past clients, which eventually your database will be big enough that you can mine it, and it will be yet another pillar that you can add to your business model.
Okay, great. And I know that
That makes
pillar
sense?
probably won't be a 15% in like January, February, but as we move forward, I'd like that to start moving towards that number.
Say that one more time.
I know it won't start out at 15% in January and February, but as we move forward through the year, I'd like to start building towards that number.
I think your number one goal with your current client relationship should be, I need to commit to having that introduction presentation at every conversation with my clients. Whenever I talk to a new client for the first time, whether they're going to be alone or not, your number one responsibility to yourself is to become so conversational with that script that it becomes part of your regimen every single time you meet a client.
Okay.
That's your number one commitment. So under your current customers, you have every Tuesday I'll do a Just Ask campaign, which is great. Yeah. But I think it starts with, before each and every client appointment, I will set the stage appropriately before I talk one sentence about mortgages. And then the second part of that should be, I'm going to practice my presentation script so it becomes so conversational that I can have it with anybody at any point in time. It can be that simple. There's your campaign for 2017 with your current clients. Because if you set the stage and then follow up with every conversation seeking a thank you, and then responding with, thank you so much for noticing, please don't keep me a secret, you know I count on people like you, it just helps augment your business. And the beauty of it is that it's free marketing, it's free advertising, and you're doing your job anyway, and you're doing it at such a high level. Why not ask your clients for something in return?
Right. Okay.
Remember, they're not paying you to do anything. You're getting paid by the bank. So your clients who appreciate you are genuinely going to want to feel like they're indebted to you and will gladly advocate you. Remember, we talked about that. 60% of your audience will help you with your business if you ask, but won't help you because they don't know you need it.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. And I've started implementing that conversation, and it's awkward as heck right now, but I'll get it down, like you said, the script, just practicing it over and over and making that my focus on the first conversation.
I'm going to send you the replay that I did yesterday for an LO. We spent an entire 45-minute phone call just on that opening presentation.
Okay.
So he could set the stage appropriately to get himself away from the commoditization of the side of the business. Because typically when we speak, we don't speak with value, we speak with facts and figures, which in a consumer's eyes, that's all they think we are. They only think we are facts and figures because they think that we are the same person if we're at a bank, at a credit union, or a guaranteed rate, or wherever. And in reality, with what Brian's built, his business model that he's built, you guys are infinitely further along in the process of creating an experience for your audience, both on the realtor side and the borrower side, that you guys cannot continue to speak as if you're just like everybody else. What is the one thing that I've told you makes you different than every other person that talks about loans to your clients? What's the one thing that makes you different?
We're not going to just talk numbers. We're relationship amplifiers.
No, you're on the right path. But the one thing that makes you different, Madison, is the words that come out of your mouth. It's what you choose to say to your audience is what differentiates you from everybody else. You have to have a presentation that makes it so that you are different than everybody else. You want everybody else to be compared to you. So when your client meets with you, you want your presentation to be so strong that when they, and trust me, they will, and they do, when they go out looking for other options, you want them to compare everybody else to you. You don't want to be compared to everybody else. So your
Okay.
presentation has to be strong enough and provide enough value that the client recognizes that you are different.
Will you please send me that call? That would be great, just so I
I
could
will
listen.
send you that. I will send both you guys that replay.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
that'd be a great. I was gonna say that would be a great conversation for us all to have on a call. But if it's recorded, that's even better, and we can just integrate that into the system for these guys. That'd be awesome.
Well, here's what we can do then. I'll play the replay for you, or I'll send it to you guys. What we should do is probably next week, we should probably have that call together, because I think it would be imperative that if we can figure out how valuable, if I can explain to you guys and get you guys to see the value in what you say in the first 15 minutes, literally sets the tone for what your clients hear for the rest of the time that they're with you. Because I want to be clear about that. Your clients come in with this perception of who you are based on everybody else that they've talked to about loans, whether it was their mom and dad, whether it was their friend, or anybody else that's ever gone through the process, or even if they've gone through the process. The truth is that you guys aren't like everybody else. There's nothing about you that's common compared to every other loan process that's out there. Brian's team, Brian's culture, Brian's process, the entire overall experience that your clients go through, and that means realtors included, is uniquely different than everybody else's, experience if they were to go through a guaranteed rate, if they were to go through a Quicken, if they were to go to their bank or the internet. Your chance to capitalize on that starts with word number one when your clients and you enter into a conversation. All I want to focus on is that first 15-minute window, and then the rest of it has already been nailed down. Brian's created a process that is, by far probably the best in the company, from the moment that that loan gets turned in to the moment that it closes, if you do your job as a loan officer correctly. I'm not going to talk to you guys about being a loan officer. All I want to talk to you guys about is being an originator, and there's a distinct difference between what happens from the loan when it's created till it closes versus the first 15 minutes, which is where an originator spends their day. That make sense?
Okay. Yeah, perfect sense. Thank you.
Hey guys, real quick, you can, for all these videos, you can buy a service. It's enounce.com, ENOUNCE.com. I think it costs $30. You put it on your computer, and it'll allow you to either speed up or slow down video playback. So like you can rip through these video trainings and stuff in twice as much time and just start to eat up some of the training and replay it over and over and over to get the scripts. So I've been using that thing for years. It's an awesome way to kind of eat it up. So just FYI.
So you want what I say? You want what I say to be sped up, so I sound like one of the chipmunks?
No, I want to get through it so I can listen to it twice.
I love it. Well, most of the time the video is just a replay on a link, and it's not really even a video. It's more or less just audio. But yeah, by all means, and with the link that I send you, you guys can speed it up or slow it down. But if eNounce works better for you, by all means, use it.
Okay.
Mr. Sweeney, what is up, brother?
What's happening, man?
Nothing, my friend.
You're about knee-deep in snow up there right now, aren't you?
Oh my God, we got about a foot of snow, and we're supposed to get more on Saturday. So I'm like a pig in mud right now. I love it.
Yeah. This week.
Denise, on the other hand, she's not loving it. She's like,
Yeah.
I've never driven in snow before. This is scaring me. She wouldn't leave the house on Sunday. I mean, she got better because I forced her to drive when I was in the car with her just so that she could realize it. Then 10 minutes into the drive, she's like, oh my gosh, this isn't bad. I'm like, I know.
Yeah, until she gets on the street and hits the brakes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, hey, Mr. Sweeney, did you have a chance to finish that business plan that we talked about last week?
I'm about 95% done in front of Brian right now, and I thought I was going to get with Brian previously, so I can send you one of revised, but I have got all the notes from our last conversation last week, and I've been applying it to my two closings. I had one then, I have one tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to see exactly the response back from these people. One last week was an older referral client that was referred to me, and tomorrow's is a brand new realtor I've been working with. I'm on their 6th deal, and everyone has gone like clockwork, so she's really, really happy. And now she's referring me to other realtors or other associates that she has. It's worked out very, very good.
Awesome. So what has been, when you look at your lead tracker and when you guys go over it as a
That's
team?
what I was working on, because I've got a 20 or 27 names to put on my lead tracker that I'm going to send you right after this call.
So you have a lead tracker that you don't keep, the names that you put on the lead tracker, you put on like once a day or once a week or something?
Well, what happened is last week, Brian was doing some continuing education and some training with, I think Carl or something. A lot of meetings, so we didn't have our meetings, so I started going through and revising them and put out, but I didn't automatically put it in the lead tracker, and then I got swamped just with clients and get ready for her. Yeah, so I took a couple of new deals on the weekend, but I'll put this on lead track and send it to you right away.
Cool. So, hey, while you've got the leads in front of you, let's talk a little bit about the lead tracker as it works for you right now. So when you look at your lead tracker, of the, you said 24, 27 names?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 25.
25. Okay. How many of those, of the leads that you have, of the 25, how many of those are actually going to be closable, not guesses, but guarantees? How many of those are going to be actual deals that close in the next 45 to 60 days?
3/4 of them. At least 18. 20.
So you have 18 loans that are either guaranteed to close or will be closing, meaning they're under contract or will be closing.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 purchases, 3 refinances. The refinances have already committed. And what I did was I went through, after our conversation last week, I went to my lead tracker of all the people that I had started, we initiated with them, but the realtors, or if there wasn't realtors, I had 2 clients that actually changed realtors because they didn't get a good experience with them. And I followed up with them and followed up with them and sent them emails and called them and sent them a message, and all of them were very happy. We put it back on, and of these, we got 3 deals out of that, and 2 contracts in. 2 of them are refinances. One of those refinances is a $1.1 million deal that we had lost.
I'm more interested in those purchases, and here's why. I think you have, obviously with 15 purchases, you got 15 listing agents that are there as well. But here's the question that I have for you. With the volume of business that you're going to close in the next 2 months, you have a tremendous opportunity to build a huge momentum going into 2017. Right. That means that every time that you enter into a disclosure with a client, you're utilizing Brian's process, and that means that you have a team of people, literally an army behind you, that if you follow the process, Brian's process will amplify your relationships with very little, if any, effort on your behalf. It simply follow the system through its entirety. And when I look at 15 purchases, I step back and go, if I'm working under this process and I have 15 purchases and part of my business model is to gain current client referrals, that means that I have to be the right LO up front. I have to be the right originator. I have to be an amazing LO until the point that I turn the file over to the team, and then I have to just engage myself through the process enough so that the client remembers that I'm counting on them for referrals. I want to see out of these 18 transactions, I want to see 5 current client referrals. I think it's very realistic that you should be able to get 5 current client referrals out of those 18 transactions without any questions. And I'm going to hold you to that. I think with the volume of business that you're about to do, there should be zero reason why, with Brian's process in full swing, that you can't have a very hands-off approach, except to just concentrate on ways that you can get your clients to say thank you to you and ask them for more business. And then while you're doing that, follow back up with the listing agent. I think out of those 15 purchases, there should be no reason that you can't get at least 5 to 7 listing agent face-to-face meetings based on what Brian's process and your skills are providing the listing agent through the process. Is that unrealistic?
Nope, not at all. Brian and I spoke briefly about that with his system and the 5 legs of mine, my table that I need to go ahead, and the 5 catches I need to make with the client. That's exactly what I'm going to concentrate on.
Okay, so we're going to make a commitment here that by the end of February, you will have received 7 listing agent face-to-face meetings and 5 current client referrals out of these loans.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's my new goal. Yeah, I'm on that.
And the cool part is, based on your business goal of closing 10 units a month, you've now just given yourself 5 new transactions based on doing nothing other than just doing what you say you were going to do, and then utilizing the system that Brian's created that makes it almost foolproof.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I hear what I get from operations up here in corporate about Brian's process. Man, it is literally one of the best ones. If the process starts off on the right foot, meaning we as the originator do our part to our fullest ability and we turn it in, you literally pave the way for yourself to be able to pick up the phone and go, hey, how's the process going? And your clients and your listing agents and your realtors like, it's amazing. Thank you for all the updates. This is over the top. And you go, hey, thanks for noticing. Can you do me a favor? I'd love to meet with you to find out if our mousetrap is better than the mousetrap you're used to working with.
And I've got 4 new agents from my last deal that I just closed that she's actually all 4 of the agents are in that Keller Williams office downstairs. I put a test to them to see, just give me the opportunity, and she's really happy about the closing. My other agent that I'm closing along with tomorrow, I asked her the same thing. She's more than happy to do that. And the agent I closed the last deal with, she's walking around with a 7-step process sheet that she got. She goes, does your lender give you this? They don't know, what is it? What are you doing? What is it? So she's opened the door for me. I just have to carry through, and it's just a little tough because of the holidays. I'm getting ready for this closing, but that's what my goal is for the rest of this month. Get those new 4 agents in.
All right, so I'm gonna pose a little challenge to you and Madison. I'm gonna put you guys against one another. It's not gonna be based on the numbers, like percent. It's not gonna be based on the volume of referrals, but based on the conversion ratio. So if Madison, if you have 2 loans in the process and you get 1 current client referral, you'd be batting 50%. Larry, if you have 5 loans in the process and you only get 1 current client referral, that would be 20%. I want to know who's going to have the greatest conversion ratio of their current client referrals through the process, which if you are successful at doing it, that means that you're buying into the system. That means you're utilizing the process. That means that you're doing your job up front by setting the stage in the beginning and providing them with the highest possible level of follow-through. I'll personally issue a reward, and I'll come up with a nice reward for one of you two. I want to know at the end of January who has the highest current client referral conversion rate.
Okay.
Are we going to call a referral? Are we going to call a referral somebody you pull credit on for a loan, or just a name and a number?
What's a lead, guys? Define a lead that you get from your clients. What's a lead?
Well, yeah, I call those pre-quals where I'm getting a name, a number, or an email address, but I'm trying to pre-qual them and then get into the system of, is it time for you to purchase or not?
Yep. I don't care whether they're closable. I care right now that you're able to ask for it and get it.
Okay.
Because once you guys get used to asking for it and getting it, then the numbers will follow themselves, because then it'll be a common conversation that you feel very comfortable having. I don't care if they turn into loans, but typically speaking, most current client referrals usually are a higher conversion ratio anyway. I'm more concerned with that you're getting them.
Okay.
Yep. And then from there, I'm willing to bet you a current client referral, if it comes from a great client, will probably be a closable deal too. I just have a sneaky suspicion that it'll kind of go hand in hand, but we'll see it when it comes. So I'm looking for the highest conversion ratio of current client referrals, and I will not accept no current client. Both of you guys have loans that are active in the process. Your goal for January is to get as many current client referrals as possible to prove to me that you guys are buying into the system, not only my system, but also Brian's system, and utilizing it to its fullest ability.
Okay.
Agreed?
Agreed.
Yep. Sweeney, are you in?
I'm all over this.
All right. I think the prize is going to be an all expense paid to a sandals resort for like 10 days. How's that?
Yeah, you just want to thaw out. That's all you want to do.
I want to thaw out, man. You have no idea. So awesome, guys. Thank you guys for your time. I'll send you guys the replay from today, and I'll also send you the link to the replay for the presentation that I did yesterday.
You got it, man. Thanks.
Have a great afternoon, guys. Be good.
Thanks. Take
You
care.
too.
Bye-bye.
All right. See you guys. Bye-bye.
He's on it. He's a machine.
He is a great He's a great resource.
No, he really, really is. And just so you know, last meeting, Madison wasn't on it. She had something else to do. So he spent 1 hour straight with me going over the business plan with what we had to do. So when I revised it, he said, don't give it to me until you and Brian can sit down and talk about it. So I'm glad you come in here. And that's what I said. I wanted him to go to Madison's with her plan because even though she revised it, I revised mine, and he tore it apart. He wanted detail. He goes, really? You're going to get this? How are you going to do it? You have to pick the phone call. Really, what are you going to say? So we talked about the 5. He had 4 pillars. Mine turned into 5.
Yeah, I listened to your replay, so you want
Oh,
to
okay.
switch away from
Yeah.
the whole like 1 through 10 thing.
Yep.
15. Well, here, this is you updated this one.
Yes.
So, but yeah, I had down your 2017 goals there for your call. From agents, 7 deals, which is 20 to 25% of your business would come from agents.
Right.
Your big thing you talked about were 30% from past clients, which
Yep.
is your big network.
Yep.
You said we dumped it down to 500 contacts. 500 contacts, 30% would be 60.
Right.
Right? That's like a
Yeah.
huge base of people.
Yeah.
Business partners was 45 to 50, and we set out about 9.
Yeah.
This is per year.
Yes.
Yeah, per year.
Yes.
So 60 transactions per year for your past clients. Current clients, I don't know what the percentage was, but we had got 36 from that call, about 3 a month.
And he said that's what he wants. So he said, okay, if you're having 5, 6 closings, you can. Yes, huge. And so that's what I'm working on now. And that's why he said, why do you go to your closings? I said, well, I want to make sure they're comfortable. I want to make sure they understand the process.